Welcome to Words of Wisdom. Without any further ado, let's get into the book summary, Thinking, Fast and Slow. Author, Daniel Kahneman. Book summary. Thinking, Fast and Slow, by Daniel Kahneman is a groundbreaking exploration of the human mind and the two cognitive systems that shape our thinking, System 1, which operates quickly and intuitively, and System 2, which engages in deliberate and effortful thought processes. Kahneman, Nobel laureate in economics, draws upon decades of research in psychology and behavioral economics to reveal the profound impact of cognitive biases on our decision-making and judgment. Chapter 1, Introduction to Thinking Fast and Slow. In this chapter, Daniel Kahneman introduces the concepts of System 1 and System 2 thinking. He explains that System 1 thinking is fast, automatic, and intuitive, while System 2 thinking is slow, deliberate, and analytical. Kahneman lays the foundation for understanding the two systems and their impact on decision-making and judgment. Chapter 2, The Two Systems. Kahneman delves deeper into the characteristics of System 1 and System 2 thinking. He explores their functions, strengths, and limitations. Kahneman explains how the interaction between these two systems influences our thoughts, behavior, and perception of the world. Chapter 3, The Lazy Controller. In this chapter, Kahneman discusses the relationship between System 1 and System 2 thinking. He explores the idea that System 2 thinking is lazy and tends to rely on the automatic responses provided by System 1. Kahneman highlights the biases and shortcuts that System 1 employs and how they can lead to cognitive errors. Chapter 4, The Associative Machine. Kahneman explores the associative nature of System 1 thinking. He discusses how System 1 operates through the activation of mental associations, allowing it to quickly generate thoughts and judgments based on past experiences. Kahneman highlights the influence of priming and the power of subconscious associations on decision-making. Chapter 5, Cognitive Ease and Strain. In this chapter, Kahneman explores the concepts of cognitive ease and cognitive strain. He discusses how the fluency or difficulty of processing information influences our judgments and decisions. Kahneman explains how cognitive ease can lead to biases and oversimplifications, while cognitive strain can enhance analytical thinking. Chapter 6, Norms, Surprises, and Causes. Kahneman examines the role of norms, surprises, and causal explanations in shaping our perceptions and judgments. He discusses how deviations from the norm capture our attention, the impact of surprise on our thinking, and the human tendency to search for causal explanations even when they may not exist. Chapter 7, A Machine for Jumping to Conclusions. In this chapter, Kahneman explores the human tendency to jump to conclusions based on limited information. He discusses the reliance on heuristics and biases that allow System 1 to quickly make judgments and decisions. Kahneman highlights the pitfalls of this rapid thinking process and the potential for errors. Chapter 8, How Judgments Happen. Kahneman delves into the process of judgment formation. He explains how System 1 generates intuitive judgments based on available information, but these judgments can be biased and influenced by various factors. Kahneman discusses the role of expertise, intuition, and the influence of heuristics on judgment formation. Chapter 9, Answering an Easier Question. In this chapter, Kahneman introduces the concept of substitution, where System 1 replaces a difficult question with an easier one. He discusses how this mental shortcut can lead to biases and errors in judgment. Kahneman highlights the importance of recognizing when substitution occurs and striving for more accurate assessments. Chapter 10, Overconfidence. Kahneman explores the phenomenon of overconfidence and its impact on decision-making. He discusses how individuals tend to be overly optimistic about their abilities, leading to flawed judgments and risky behavior. Kahneman examines the factors that contribute to overconfidence and the consequences it can have in various domains. Chapter 11, Anchors. In this chapter, Kahneman delves into the concept of anchoring, where an initial piece of information influences subsequent judgments. He discusses how anchoring occurs, its impact on decision-making, and how it can be exploited. Kahneman provides examples of how anchoring affects various contexts, such as pricing and negotiations. Chapter 12, The Science of Availability. Kahneman explores the availability heuristic, where judgments are influenced by the ease with which relevant examples come to mind. He discusses how System 1 uses this mental shortcut to estimate probabilities and make judgments. Kahneman explains the biases and limitations associated with availability and provides insights into its practical implications. Chapter 13, Availability, Emotion, and Risk. In this chapter, Kahneman investigates the link between availability, emotion, and risk perception. He discusses how emotional events can have a disproportionate impact on judgments and decisions. Kahneman highlights the interplay between System 1 and System 2 thinking in evaluating risks and the role of emotion in shaping our risk assessments. Chapter 14, Tom W.'s Specialty. Kahneman shares a personal anecdote about Tom W., a clinical psychologist, and his extraordinary diagnostic skills. He discusses the role of intuition and expertise in making accurate judgments. Kahneman emphasizes the importance of acquiring domain-specific knowledge and expertise to enhance decision-making abilities. Chapter 15, Linda, Less is More. Kahneman introduces the concept of conjunction fallacy through the example of Linda, a fictional character. He explains how individuals tend to make judgment errors by assigning higher probabilities to specific events that seem more detailed or specific. Kahneman discusses the implications of the conjunction fallacy and its influence on our thinking. Chapter 16, Causes trump statistics. In this chapter, Kahneman explores how individuals tend to prioritize causal explanations over statistical evidence. He discusses the influence of narratives and stories in shaping our beliefs and judgments. Kahneman highlights the need to balance intuitive thinking with analytical reasoning when evaluating evidence and making decisions. Chapter 17, Regression to the Mean. Kahneman discusses the concept of regression to the mean, where extreme events tend to be followed by more average outcomes. He explains how this statistical phenomenon can lead to misconceptions and misinterpretations. Kahneman provides examples from various fields, such as sports and education, to illustrate the regression to the mean effect. Chapter 18, Taming Intuitive Predictions. In this chapter, Kahneman explores the challenges of making accurate predictions. He discusses the limitations of intuitive predictions and the importance of using systematic models and statistical reasoning to improve predictive accuracy. Kahneman provides insights into the biases and errors that can arise from relying solely on intuition when making predictions. Chapter 19, The Illusion of Understanding. Kahneman discusses the illusion of understanding, where individuals tend to believe they have a deeper understanding of complex phenomena than they actually do. He explains how this illusion can lead to overconfidence and errors in judgment. Kahneman emphasizes the importance of embracing uncertainty and acknowledging the limits of our knowledge. Chapter 20, The Illusion of Validity. In this chapter, Kahneman explores the illusion of validity, where individuals overestimate the accuracy of their judgments and predictions. He discusses the factors that contribute to this illusion, including the availability of coherent stories and the lack of feedback on the accuracy of our judgments. Kahneman highlights the need for humility and critical thinking in avoiding the illusion of validity. Chapter 21, Intuitions versus Formulas. Kahneman compares the accuracy of intuitive judgments with those based on formal algorithms and formulas. He discusses research findings that suggest that in many cases, formulas outperform intuitive judgments. Kahneman explores the conditions under which intuition can be reliable and provides insights into when to trust formulas over intuition. Chapter 22, Expert Intuition, When Can We Trust It? In this chapter, Kahneman examines the conditions under which expert intuition can be trustworthy. He discusses the characteristics of domains where experts can develop reliable intuitions through extensive practice and feedback. Kahneman highlights the importance of deliberate practice, feedback mechanisms, and domain-specific expertise in honing intuitive judgment. Chapter 23, The Outside View. Kahneman introduces the concept of the outside view, which involves considering historical reference class data when making predictions or evaluating projects. He discusses how the outside view can help overcome optimism bias and improve the accuracy of judgments. Kahneman provides examples of applying the outside view in different contexts, such as project planning and forecasting. Chapter 24, The Engine of Capitalism. Kahneman explores the role of optimism and overconfidence in driving entrepreneurial activity and economic growth. He discusses the biases and errors that can arise from excessive optimism and explores the implications for economic decision-making. Kahneman provides insights into the challenges of balancing optimism with realistic assessments of risk and reward. Chapter 25, Bernoulli's Errors. In this chapter, Kahneman examines the flaws in Bernoulli's theory of expected utility, which assumes that individuals make rational decisions based on maximizing expected value. He discusses the complexities of decision-making under uncertainty and the biases that can distort utility assessments. Kahneman introduces prospect theory as an alternative framework that better captures real-world decision-making. Chapter 26, Prospect Theory, Anomalies and Implications. Kahneman elaborates on prospect theory, which describes how individuals make decisions under risk and uncertainty. He discusses the concept of loss aversion, where losses loom larger than gains, and its implications for decision-making. Kahneman explores the endowment effect, framing effects, and other anomalies that challenge traditional economic theories. Chapter 27, Rare Events. Kahneman examines the challenges of dealing with rare events, such as extreme outcomes or low-probability events. He discusses how individuals tend to underestimate the likelihood of rare events and the potential impact they can have. Kahneman explores the implications for decision-making and risk management in the face of rare events. Chapter 28, Risk Policies. In this chapter, Kahneman discusses the factors that influence risk-taking behavior and risk policies. He explores how individuals' risk preferences can be shaped by framing, reference points, and the influence of emotions. Kahneman provides insights into the implications for policymaking and the design of risk communication strategies. Chapter 29, Keeping Score. Kahneman explores the idea of subjective well-being and the challenges of accurately assessing and evaluating happiness. He discusses the limitations of relying solely on life satisfaction or happiness measures and explores alternative approaches. Kahneman emphasizes the importance of considering the different components of well-being when evaluating quality of life. Chapter 30, Experienced Well-being. In this chapter, Kahneman distinguishes between two aspects of well-being, the remembered self and the experiencing self. He discusses the importance of focusing on the quality of experiences in the present moment and explores the factors that influence experienced well-being. Kahneman provides insights into how individuals can enhance their daily experiences and overall well-being. Chapter 31, Thinking About Life. Kahneman reflects on the lessons and insights from the book. He discusses the challenges of understanding human decision-making and the biases that can lead to errors and suboptimal choices. Kahneman emphasizes the need for awareness, critical thinking, and the integration of System 1 and System 2 thinking to make better decisions and live more fulfilling lives. In conclusion, Thinking, Fast and Slow, by Daniel Kahneman provides a comprehensive exploration of human cognition and decision-making. Through the examination of System 1 and System 2 thinking, biases, heuristics, and the complexities of judgment and decision-making, Kahneman offers valuable insights into the workings of the human mind. The book serves as a guide to understanding our cognitive biases, making better decisions, and improving our overall well-being.